Today I'm presenting my bridge that I made a possible six for my physics class, Miss Sing's physics class that I take third period. And I rebuilt it yesterday, and for the past 2 days I was rebuilding it because our last bridge, this is it right here, it was destroyed after the project was over. So I had to rebuild it in order to bring it in and show you the diagram of it. And this is my agenda. So I was basically overview this is my first I'm gonna start with an overview of what the project is and what it's for. Basically, the unit we were talking about was forces, and we were talking about tensional, gravitational, friction, normal, and yeah, that's it. We were talking about those forces, and we had to build a bridge in order to try to explore normal force and gravitational force. And my bridge was a truss bridge that I built with Randy Italia. And yeah, we built a truss bridge with Randy Italia. This is the new one. Instead of, back in the old design, instead of having triangles along the bases and along the sides, they just had a base going just with, let's see, like these little rods, or these rods just going horizontal instead of having it like be stronger on the bottom. And that's one of the main reasons our bridge fell. Well, it didn't fall, it kind of like slanted over. And that's why I wanted to rebuild it, because I knew we could do a lot better, but we kind of messed up. So yeah. So I'll go over the overview, but that was it. I'll show you a demonstration of the bridge, explain what the forces are, and then have time for you guys to ask any questions. This is the document we received from Ms. Singh about the project, and the guidelines right here. We have to use at most 20 pounds per sticks. It has to be at least 14 inches long, and we have to develop a plan and design it after the plan was approved by Ms. Singh. This is a write-up that I wrote for Ms. Singh's class. Well, this is the write-up I wrote after we built the bridge. And like I said before, the bridge was successful based on Ms. Singh's requirements, which was you had to hold at least 5 pounds and the 14 inches as well. This one's 17 inches right here. But to me and the rest of my group, we didn't really we felt proud that it held up the weight. We felt we could do better because it fell over to the side and wanted to actually stay up and actually continue to work. Because like other groups, they had 71 pounds. Two groups held up Ms. Singh, and ours only had 8.5 pounds, which kind of made me dropped my confidence a little bit around my group, but I would glad we passed this on. Reason being the bridge fell because before we didn't have anything connecting the top layer and the bottom layer together, like to the sides. So it moved a lot more than this one does. It just kept leaning over to the side. So there's nothing stopping it from like keeping it isolated. It was like more of a joint instead of like a solid base. And now to counteract that, I used hot glue this time instead of what we used before, which is silicone. We used silicone, and our bridge didn't dry. The silicone didn't dry within the 2 days that we had it. It took 24 hours, and we had to finish gluing the bridge within the presentation. So like the glue moved inside of the area where it glued it. Yeah. And I remember to read something that I wrote for it happened if it loads and the glue. Sorry, just give me a second. Alright. So this is the last part. The basis of the unit we were in at the time was forces. We learned the basics of inclined planes, friction, and gravity, and those are only some of the things you learn with the unit. The bridge is built by students demonstrating effective gravity, no force, applied force. And these are definitions. Applied force is the force applied by one object on another. So, for example, here, the 9-pound weight is applying force onto the bridge, and the 9 pounds of force. Well, that's not the correct unit. It should be newtons. I did the calculation, but the weight is applying force on the bridge right now, and the bridge is also applying force on the weight in the upward motion while the weight's going down. No force is the perpendicular force that any object is making contact with the surface, and it's produced by the surface acting on the object. So right now, like as I'm standing, the floor is producing a force that's like pushing me up, but I'm also giving an equal force to the ground, that's making me like stay there, not either float or dig deeper into the ground. As the bridge is holding it up by producing the same amount of force as the weight is giving onto the bridge. And gravity is the force that attracts any object with mass to the center of a planet. So that's why another reason why we're able to stay and like not float around, because we're attracted by gravity to the Earth. That's when we jump, we know let's go straight to the air and never come back down. Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Any questions?
Yes. So I've seen a couple of these bridges. Why did you guys choose a multi-tiered bridge as opposed to just a flat surface bridge?
Well, me, Randy, and Talia, we decided to do that because, well, one, we wanted to actually look different from the other groups, and also we felt that, say like this breaks, or well, if it breaks or comes down, it has like another layer under it, and we wanted to like apply the force equally and not have it just all on the base of the bridge. So it's the bridge is the base is holding it up, making sure that it stays on the table. The top there is holding onto the weight.
I saw that when you placed the weight on top of the bridge, it kind of leaned a little bit. Is that intentional?
Actually, no, it's not intentional. I think, well, that's one of the things that I still have to work on the design of the bridge. I haven't figured out why it still leans a little bit. It doesn't lean as much as it did before, but I think it's because the way I glued the bottom to it, the glue to the bottom is not directly connected to the base once again.
Okay, so how did this project then change your view on bridges?
Oh, well, it changed my view on building these bridges exactly because at first, when I first got
real bridges too,
real
not just the
bridges,
bridges that you built.
Well, this one I thought like it was gonna be real simple to do and build, and it's gonna be easy and done real fast, which it wasn't, because it took me 2 days and it's still not perfected or up to its best ability. And then on real bridges, it showed me how much like effort actually goes into building them, because this one it's flawed, and say this is a real bridge, like life size, and people are driving on it or walking on it, and it leans or tilts a little bit, and it's not going to only have a little bit of weight, and one time's going to have different amounts of weight. So if it's not perfect, if it's not perfect, it's going to fall and it's not going to be of use to anybody, which is why I see bridges are important. People build them are pretty smart.
Are there any lessons that you've learned from doing this project that you feel like you could apply to other projects or other courses?
Yeah, that just because something is expensive or it's rare doesn't mean that's gonna work to the best of its ability. That's how I know with the silicone, because like Randy bought it from his dad's hardware store on his own money, and we thought because it was like it's classified as like a better adhesive than hot glue gun, we thought this is more expensive or like not found in a party store. It's actually go to a hardware store get it. That was gonna work better, and it didn't, because this bridge is actually holding more weight than the other bridge we used the silicone with. And also, I learned to take into account everything and to research a lot more before I actually build something. Because, like I said, I did some research. I don't think I did enough to stop the bridge from falling over.